Hello everyone and welcome. Yes, my name is Arrowfire and welcome back to another episode of Look Out and Shout. But before we get into today's figure, a little bit of housekeeping first. So the channel has hit a little bit of a growth spurt, it's fair to say. I put up a couple of shorts recently, one on the breakdown of the Rise of the Beast trailer, the film, the Beast Wars inspired film that we're going to get next year. That did really well, thank you very much for watching that. But also I did a breakdown of the new game trailer that we're going to get, Transformers Reactivate, which as of recording has done something like 20,000 views, nearly 2,000 likes, and that is exceptional. That is something I am completely not used to. I've had great support of messages and comments towards it, more or less, and it's just been wonderful to see something take off like that. These things can catch fire sometimes, they really have. I cannot thank you enough for supporting me. Right, that's out of the way. Today we are going to look at TransArt's Metal Mouse Scout, the BWM07. This is of course Transmetal Rattrap. Now, this has been out for a couple of weeks now. Some reviews are up. I would have got mine a bit sooner if it wasn't for strikes and or snow. By the way, very cold here today. Bit of snow on the ground. You have my permission to don the emergency big jumper. But the box is very nice. It's a bit smaller than I was expecting. And on the back, I do like this, the CR chamber that you see quite often in Beast Wars, it's fair to say, but really Rattrap sees his own reflection in. I have not dabbled with TransArt as a company before. I have their Megatron, the Transmetal Megatron on pre-order with them. I haven't dabbled with the other figures for a reason. I haven't dabbled with them because I felt for a long time the Transmetal figures back in the day, which I had quite a lot of, are some of the best Transformer toys released. They still hold up today. That Tarantulas from back in the day is still quite sought after. People do still want him in this collection. And the Rattrap was no exception. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, will it be better than the original? Because the original was pretty good. But let's find out, shall we? Quick run through before we go any further. We'll have a quick look at the accessories. You get his tail, which from what I can work out is made of like a bendy copper wire rubber, which would work quite well for posing. On that you have the accessories as well. This comes with a myriad of accessories in that you have the top of his tail. You've got a couple of them, in fact. His gun, that he's known for in the cartoon, as well as some speakers and some bloosh effects, some blast effects. It also comes with some standings that you could use for display purposes, collector's card, but arguably, most importantly of all, gloves. It comes with gloves. And this is because it is a very chromy figure. And it would be reminiscent of TransArt not to supply you with gloves for handling it on. In this jumper I look like Mickey Mouse, but it's very... I mean, I get it, I can see why, but state of this, honestly, I do understand, very chromy, we'll get into this in a minute, so you don't get finger marks, smudge marks. I get it. Is this what we're into? Collecting? Is this what we're doing now? Hi. And here is the vermin in his robot mode, and that is lovely. Lovely, very, very chromy, very, very reflective, and very show accurate. It's a bit of a backpack on him, I'll be honest, it does stand out a little bit, but the accuracy to sculpting, proportions are absolutely spot on. Yeah, the backpack is a little bit of an eyesore. He did have a bit of a backpack in the show as well, but I love this lining throughout the chest. It's like the stretch marks of abs. I didn't realise that he actually had abs, but he does. It's a very well presented figure straight out of the box. It's packaged so carefully in between two plastic moulded coverings. Inside that you then have lines of plastic and cloth and gloves covering it throughout, and that looks exceptional. I do really love the colours that they've used. The blue is so striking. It's maybe won't pick it up on camera, but the blue around the back of the head in bot mode is a really reflective blue. It's almost pearlescent. And the blue on the body is a lighter blue, and then the chrome throughout the upper arms and the thighs just looks, it looks second to none. Presentation is TransArt's strong point. They can make some very good looking figures. This will reflect so well on the shelf. Let's get in for a closer look. The mouth opens so you can get his one tooth, very expressive face. Arm articulation is very good, double elbow joint as well. Hands open out, no individual fingers. Rotation is a bit limited with the shoulder, but that's because of the bot mode, or rather the rat mode, getting in the way. The kibble is a little bit in the way as such. He does have a bit of an out crunch, but again I feel that's more part of the transformation. There isn't so much an ankle tilt. That's the only thing. There is a tilt, but it's a bit of a cheap one. The ankle doesn't move. The ankle is fixed, but the toe does. And it's a bit, yeah, a little cheap, maybe. But posability is good. All friction, no ratchets. And you can get him into some okay poses, but the back kibble does want to get in the way. But how he looks come the end of it. Posability with the hands. He's spoiling for a fight. Ready and willing to take on anyone. Accessory wise, he comes with his tail, which he can plug in as his sword, which just sits in the hand. It's a bit maybe too long for him. It's more for the rat mode in mind. And for the show, he comes with his pistol as well. Now, it's much more show accurate, and it's good. It's actually better than what we got with the original toy. It's very show accurate. Now, this I absolutely love. You may remember, if you're a Beast Wars fan, that he is a demolitions expert, and underneath his elbows, as is in the show, he comes with a detonator. If you can see that at the tip of my finger, it sits in the slot underneath his elbow pad, just like he did in the show, which he ultimately throws at Waspinator, and not for the first time, Waspinator blows up. I love that, and you can get him to hold on to it and throw it at whoever he pleases. Waspinator, you might want to duck and run. Time to do some comparison shots. Here he is alongside Takara's masterpiece Tigatron. You see how they scale together. Again, they've got that scaling height just right, I think. Completely different ranges, but here he is alongside the Legacy Chug Scale Inferno. Again, they are both Beast Wars, and Inferno didn't get an upgrade, not in the TV series anyway. Masterpiece Wheeljack, Takara Masterpiece Wheeljack for some G1 perspective. But how could we not? Here he is alongside his frenemy for life, Takara Masterpiece Beast Wars Dinobot. This is where this is really going to shine. You've got possibly the best representation of both characters that we're possibly ever going to have. And it really reflects. I can just imagine the scenes now into the ultimate sad scene at the end of Code of Hero. Rattrap in this form says goodbye to his friend. But I love how these two look side by side. We're going to have fun when we get into the alt mode, don't worry about that. Okay, now let's transform him up, but it's not quite as simple as you would think, in that he doesn't come with instructions. What he does come with is a QR code to go to the instructions. I guess it saves on paper, but yeah, that's a thing. I reckon that's a thing we're going to see a lot more of. And here he is in his rat mode, his vermin mode, and I love that. I absolutely love it. It's quite a straightforward transformation, all things considered. Yeah, as you might have seen there, the legs maybe don't want to hold in position as much, but stuff tabs in quite well. It transforms pretty much like the old toy does, but I just love how it looks. The character on the face is second to none. The teeth, the open mouth, the tongue inside, the green eyes. Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It is a metallic rat, and I'm all for it. I just think it's wonderful. I will say that head is not actually the head that was on the shoulders. We got faux parts going on, which seems to be the way for Beast Wars figures, which again, I'm fine with. I don't mind faux parts making up heads that are not heads. I love how he looks. The character, the paint job, that chrome is lovely. This is gloves, they are needed. It just looks brilliant. Yeah, it really has captured that show accuracy, that character of an aggressive rat that he first transforms into and gives that growl from the cartoon in the start of season 2. Let's get in for a closer look. And you can see what I mean for the character of the face. The underside tabs together really well. There's a lot of paneling, breaking up, tucking the legs in, tucking the arms in, but it actually tabs up pretty good, more or less. The feet are probably the worst feature of it in that it wants to topple a little bit, but that's the worst I can say about it. You just got to do a little bit of balancing, but stuff does move. The head has good articulation. You can have it closed for that original aesthetic. The tail, of course, being rubber, will bend around to give a much more of an aggressive stance to it. It's just brilliant. It's just got so much going for it. I love the personality. I love the character to it. I love how it looks. Let's also get him into his third mode. And didn't even have to look at the instructions for that. He transforms just like the original toy used to. That's brilliant. There is some pegs at the rear wheels that just tag in at the back, so he rolls pretty well. And he does roll fairly well. Maybe the front wheels are a tiny bit tighter than the back, but that's good. The blast effects are lovely. There's clear, translucent to the bottom, and then they're orange to the top. Be careful. They're very spiky. Surprisingly spiky. But it's just like the original toy was. I absolutely adore it. In his rat with wheels, his Knievel mode, as he would sometimes call it. And just because I can, here he is with his Transmetal counterpart from back in the day. He is actually surprisingly bigger when you put them side by side. It's brilliant. It's much the same toy, much the same effects, but we can see how the technology has moved on over the years. Did you honestly think I wasn't going to do it? I had to do it. So what are my final views on Mighty Mouse, Metal Mouse? I suppose he is a Mighty Mouse. It's brilliantly presented. Probably the most accurate, detailed, small little bot you will find. The detailing on the robot looks absolutely exceptional. It is very back heavy. The kibble on the back is quite large. But then again, it was in the cartoon, so it's accurate. I like what it does with the accessories. I like how it uses the tail and how it can be made out of rubber for positioning and things like that. I love the alt mode. Just the rat mode, I think, is the selling point of this figure. It's got so much character to it. But the question I do have is it better than the original toy? And I think you have to park the nostalgia. I think I'm talking to myself as much as anyone else. The original toy was great fun, but if the original toy didn't exist, or if there was a much worse version of the original toy, would this take its place? Possibly. It's not an expensive figure by Masterpiece standards, and it is Masterpiece, despite being very small. It is good. A lack of ankle tilt is a shame. There's a toe tilt, but it's not much. I do like what it does. I like the expression. I like the detailing. It's very accurate to the show. It's very much what they're doing with the Transmetal line. I can't really fault it. It really does what it does. It's very well presented. The chrome is second to none, and they've done really well with the Optimus Primal, Cheetor, and the Megatron, so it's little wonder that they've gone for this. I don't really know where they are going to go next. Tarantulas has not been shown to my knowledge. There is a third-party one out there, but I can't for the life of me remember what name that was. I don't think it's TransArt. Maybe ultimately into a Black Arachnia Transmetal. But anyway, for the here and now, I do like it. It is kind of well presented, maybe not as full of character, but it is good for what it is. I do like the alt mode. So I give this 4 Rodimus Star Badges out of 5. But thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you on the next one.